Hey, I found I have 7 irises blooming. 7! I think that's more than I've had at one time ever. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what all the colors are, but I think there's one. There's one here that's about to bloom. 2. And there's one there that I don't know what color that is. And then that's 4. And then I have this one here. And just this morning, I noticed that one there and that one right there coming out. I got 7. Is that crazy? Well, you know what? Every once in a while you get something nice happen. It's about to storm up here, so I got to go get Mace in. I'm going to take this in the barn. Hang on. This barn is so dirty. I got to clean this up. Whoa, what do we hear? What is it? What is it? My goodness. Oh, I hear the blue jays and such, huh? Look at Dove. Look at Dove. She's so beautiful. You little goober. Look at my Dove. Isn't she gorgeous? Hi, Dove. Oh, you're so pretty. You look just like your mommy. I want to mention something about... I gotta clean this barn, oh my goodness, but weather has got to change and I have to have some help. But there they are. They're the crazy 5 kids here. And look at Phoebe, isn't she beautiful? Oh, she's so gorgeous. Well, I don't talk to you about something. We are visiting the crazy people in here. Sound off, buddy. I know, you're such a good boy. Listen to you. Hey guys, I want to mention one thing about yesterday's video about the frugal living, no excuses video. You know, people may have been confused about why I was talking about basically what amounted to traditional values. Sorry about this, I got something on my shirt this morning, I didn't wash it off good. But traditional values in regard to living on one income. And but the thing is, many times being frugal and traditional values kind of go hand in hand. I know they're probably frugal leftists. I guess there are. I don't really have I have no leftist friends, actually. I have leftist family, and they are not frugal. Let's just say that. They're not frugal. I have never seen a frugal leftist, but I'm sure they exist somewhere. I just don't happen to know them. To me, it seems like traditional values, family values, and frugality kind of go together. That's one thing. And I did want to mention that, you know, when women stay home to raise their children, that doesn't mean they can't start a cottage business of some sort. You know, Lady Hawk and I had an internet business where we sold her handmade soaps. I still have a little bit of a bar of Reba left. She named the soaps after our chickens, and Reba was my chicken in my original flock. So I still have a little teeny bit of a bar, and I hate to use it all because it's the last one I have left of the ones that she made. But you know, people make soap. I think Steve Smith's wife Kelly makes handmade soaps. But you know, there are things you can do. You can start businesses from your home, as long as your main focus is your main focus is your children's well-being and education, and you're there with them, and not outside the home spending all this money on, you know, your clothes and your gas and your lunches and your childcare. But I still think you can, of course you can have an internet business. Of course you can. We did, and I have been known to sell a quilt here and there. People are not really buying them now, because even though I'm selling them way under value, people are buying them because they're buying necessities. Or they're buying, I don't know what they're buying, but yeah, I understand that. But I just wanted to mention that. And I did want to say something. I don't know if I've mentioned this too many times in the past, but chicken education is my thing. And when my husband went to get to the co-op, they didn't have any of our regular bags of shavings. Our regular bags of pine shavings expand to 10 cubic feet. They're very hefty bags. And they've gone up from, you know, $6 and something to $10 a bag in the last couple of years here. But they're big bags. Well, they were out of those, and so apparently they had. He said these are small bags. He tells you they got small bags. Well, they're very small bags. They were like expanded at 3 cubic feet, and they were a little bit less. But when I opened them up, they were basically sawdust. I mean, it was sawdust. I don't like sawdust. I like the flakes be bigger. It's just sawdust. It doesn't expand. It doesn't go very far at all. It might be good for a rabbit cage. It's not good for a barn with chickens. My donkey is right on time. Not my donkey. I almost wish he was. They only had these bags. So when we realized that those were not acceptable, he had to go back to get shavings and hope they would have some. And he asked them. They said, "Well, they've been trying to get shavings for 3 weeks. I guess their supplier doesn't have them at the moment." And he said, "Well, those last bags were basically useless. They were not worth anything for our use." And this is where I want to tell you, people who work in feed stores don't necessarily have knowledge of chickens or what they're supposed to have knowledge of, or Tractor Supply. He said, "Well, we do have cedar. We have cedar shavings." Let me tell you, first thing you learn about chickens early on usually is you don't put a barn full of cedar shavings with chickens. You can kill them. Chickens are sensitive to high aromatics. And if you, especially little chicks, if you put chicks in a brooder with a bunch of cedar shavings, you're probably going to kill them. You don't want to do that. It's not a problem to sprinkle some cedar shavings in the bottom of a nest box and cover it with pine shavings to deter bugs or whatever. That's not a problem. But boy, the hawks are crazy today. I'm getting all kinds of animal action on this video. They're all over the place. But you don't want to put cedar shavings in a brooder or cedar shavings in your barn, other than to sprinkle here and there, because chickens cannot handle aromatics. So, you know, offering cedar shavings is, you know, useless. I remember every time I'd go to somewhere, I'd go to Tractor. I remember one time I went to Tractor Supply and I wanted chorid. I said, I can't find the chorid. Do you have any chorid? Which is, it's concentrated in proleum for coccidiosis. And the guy says, "Well, we have," and what he offered was an antibiotic. I said, "No, it's not the same thing. It's not an antibiotic. I don't need an antibiotic. It doesn't help coccidiosis." See, they just don't know anything. They'll offer you something. Don't ever assume people in a feed store know a darn thing, okay? Just don't ever assume that, because most of the time they don't know anything, especially the people in Tractor Supply. That's one reason I could never work in Tractor Supply, even to deal with the chicks that they get in, because the ignorance is astounding. And same reason I don't watch other people's chicken videos, because it drives me crazy to hear people spouting misinformation and rumors and crazy stuff that I know is not true. So anyway, I just want to make sure I interjected that for people. I don't remember saying that. I know I've said it at least once, but it's been a long time since I mentioned, don't fill your barn with cedar shavings with chickens. It is not healthy for them to inhale that. Especially the smaller they are, the closer to the bedding they are. Bad stuff. No. You may think it's going to make your barn smell lovely, and it will, and you may have a barn full of dead chickens. So you don't want to do that. Just wanted to mention that. So, and I also want to mention that the thing about the video yesterday, generally it seems like traditional values and frugality kind of go hand in hand. I don't know a lot of, I know no frugal leftists. I'm not saying there aren't any, I just don't know any, and all the family members of ours that are lefties are not frugal. So, there you go. That's all I wanted to do today. And Yeah, I'm so happy to have 7 irises blooming, 7 different irises at the same time. I should have about 25, but I've never had 7 at one time. Must be bad bulbs. I need to replace those bulbs, I guess. But it's just one of those things, those extra things that I just never get around to, because it's just me, for the most part, doing things like that. And I just, it just doesn't get up. So that's all I want to say. It's going to be a short one today. And it's kind of, I think we're getting storms coming in. I don't know. But I think that's all. I think that was all I was going to say. And I'm still trying to find homes for those 2 Bantam coaching boys. The biggest boy, who was the second one to crow, has the biggest comb, and he's the biggest boy. He's in training. He's taking some aversion therapy, because he's a little biter. Just like I think Forrest did that. He's only 9.5 weeks old, so he's boundary testing. He has to be taught that that's not acceptable behavior. And he bit me yesterday. Just held on, and so I grabbed him up. I said, "No!" And you get his little beak like that, and you don't do it violently. You don't want to snap his neck. Good grief! Just shake it. Give him a little shake and go, "No, no," And then you hold your hand out and see if he's going to bite it. If he does it again, you do the same thing. That usually works for non-aggressive birds. And none of the roosters I have that could be his father or the buff coachins. They're just not aggressive birds. They're very sweet. And even Hector, he was a little biter. I used to call him the little tyrant, and there was a reason I called him that. But he was young. It was before his hormones kicked in. And he learned. He's been intelligent chickens learn pretty well. And I don't expect to have any problems with him, or anybody else to have any problems with him. He just has to learn his little lesson as a child, and then he'll be okay. But I still need homes for those 2. I really have nowhere to put them. If they stick around here too much longer, I'm going to have to give them names, and I really rather not do that. So, y'all, take these babies off my hands. Bye. Have a good day.